Welcome to the Story Lab. Today we are finally looking at a story from the DC universe. Specifically, we want to come up with our own DC television series. While DC movies have been a constant up and down, DC TV series have always done well, and the character we want to focus on today is Robin. So, let's do a Robin show. Robin is an interesting character. He is a vigilante, but also a teenager. He is a sidekick, but also the leader of the Teen Titans. For our series about him, we let ourselves be inspired by Smallville and not only look at the hero doing hero stuff, but also at his daily life growing up, going to school, etc. Robin will start out as a teenager and grow up and become a hero in his own right during the series. The Robin we choose is thus Dick Grayson, so that he can become Nightwing at some point. With that, we already have most of our ingredients ready. Here they are. Dick Grayson lives a double life. At night, he is Robin, the sidekick of Batman, but at day, he has to go to the local high school. While Gotham is not going from one crisis to another, there are a lot of villains running around. Both Robin and Batman are having to keep their identities a secret as they are vigilantes. We do not need to see the origin story of every villain and hero, but not all should be present right from the start. Robin will grow up throughout the series, becoming a hero in his own right. And in addition to those, Robin will meet other DC heroes from other cities. In fact, the Justice League is already a thing and Batman will sometimes have to leave. Both Bruce Wayne and Alfred should be part of the show though. Robin will, over the course of the series, assemble the Teen Titans. We'll do 5 seasons with one big villain per season and several smaller ones in between. The storyline shall be original but inspired by the comics, of course. Okay, those are a lot of ingredients. Let's see what the lab makes out of them. Here we go. The Robin series, Season 1. The series opens with Bruce Wayne getting a visitor from the city administration to determine whether Dick Grayson is being properly schooled. Of course, he finds that there is no homeschooling going on, and so the administrator orders Dick to start going to high school. Bruce organizes that Dick can go to the school in the rich neighborhood, a beautiful building overlooking the city. Initially, Dick has a hard time adjusting to the high school life, but he quickly gains a close friend. Through his acrobatic skills, he also earns some respect from the other students, except for the football team, led by a though kid called Victor, who don't like Dick. Of course, the hero also catches the eyes of some girls, but he is only interested in the smart and beautiful Dana. The much bigger concern, however, is for Dick to balance his night life as Robin and his day life in school. He has to hide injuries, being tired after a whole night out, and knowing information about the latest thing going on in the city, especially from Victor, who is always trying to get behind Dick's secret. There is actually a lot going on in Gotham. Not only are mafia bosses and shady businessmen like the Penguin lurking around, after having to fight Killer Croc in the first episode, Batman and Robin also keep encountering other strange half-human, half-monster figures. In the mid-season finale, they have to fight Clayface. Through detective work, they find out who is behind all of this turmoil, Dr. Hugo Strange. At the end of the season, they catch him, but not before Strange breaks open a wall of Arkham Asylum. Season 2 opens with chaos in the city, as Batman, Robin, and the police desperately try to recapture the Arkham inmates. They eventually succeed, but not before several bombs had gone off and people had been killed. And some of the villains did manage to escape, in particular the Joker. Throughout the series, Batman and Robin have to fight different inmates or prevent disasters that the Joker and Harley Quinn are causing. Another of the escapees also causes some trouble, Catwoman, who turns out to be a distraction for Batman. As so much chaos is going on, Harvey Dent becomes a prominent figure in the city, and Robin learns that he is the father of his crush Dana, who is actually called Joella Dent, but prefers Dana in this series. Throughout the season, Harvey becomes more and more distraught and eventually becomes mad. At school, Robin's life also gets more complicated. his friend discovers that Dick is Robin and starts working as Robin's unofficial sidekick. The biggest new development has to do with Victor though. The former rival of Robin has been transformed. Having gotten into a car crash during the opening episode's chaos, Victor has been saved from certain death by an experimental treatment, turning him into cyborg. A super now too, he starts bonding with Robin and the two work together on a few occasions, before Robin introduces Cyborg to Batman and the visiting Superman. Superman is one of 3 or 4 other Justice League members that we meet this season. It is a part of Robin's world that is expanding. But towards the end of the season, Robin's focus shifts considerably. He is making gains with Dana Dent. In fact, he asks her out for a dance and makes the appointment in the nick of time, after a fight with Harley Quinn delayed him greatly. In the season finale, things take a turn for the worse though. Joker's grand plan is revealed, and naturally it is something that endangers the entire city. Batman and Robin have to act quickly to stop him. Luckily, both Cyborg and Catwoman agree to help. In the end, Joker can be stopped and Batman brings him back to Arkham in person. But the antics of the villain had already had its consequences. Harvey Dent, spilled with acid during a trial, had gone completely mad and turned into Two-Face. Two-Face becomes the main villain for the 3rd season, as he proves rather adept at getting away from Batman and Robin. What's worse for our protagonist is that his relationship with Dana is rapidly deteriorating. Dick cannot hide that he roots for Two-Face's capture, which alienates him from Dent's daughter. In this confusing emotional phase for our young hero, it really doesn't help that Poison Ivy shows up and spreads her deceptive pheromones. Luckily, the Robin's wards and friends help him overcome Ivy's charm and the villain can be taken down. But that's not all. Other youngster superheroes start showing up in Gotham for various reasons. Among them are Raven, Aqualad, Kid Flash and most notably, Starfire. Robin and Starfire begin dating and an awkward situation arises when Dana finds out that Dick is dating a superhero. None of this is helped by the fact that Dana's father Two-Face is still turning the city upside down. Eventually, Robin becomes so entangled with all the girl problems around him that Batman has to go on several missions without him and gets himself into danger. The season culminates as Batman is trapped by Two-Face, who then tries to take over the city. This is when Robin and Cyborg decide to unite a team of all the teenage superheroes around them and go save the city. Thus, the Teen Titans are formed, with Robin as their leader and the following members: Cyborg, Aqualad, Raven, Starfire, Kid Flash and 2 newcomers in Donna Troy and Beast Boy. Together, the Titans take on Two-Face, free Batman and save the city. The grown-up superheroes are quite impressed with their youngsters. They are given an official call sign, though the group does break up soon. Only a few of them stay in Gotham. Duelist Dana Dent on the other hand takes a turn for the worse. With her father in prison now, she disappears from the school and takes up a villain's mantle herself, deceptively calling herself Joker's daughter. Season 4 starts with Robin chasing the Joker's daughter and finding out that she is his former love interest. This makes for a very awkward situation when the two of them return to school for their final year, especially since Dick is still dating Starfire, who is revealed to be a princess from an alien world. In addition, the teens now have to think about where they want to go to college, which leads to much discussion. Meanwhile, we get to know the main supervillain of this season. It is none other than Lex Luthor. The notorious Superman villain is once again on a campaign to take over the world, a plan which seems to involve Gotham. Superman comes to Batman to ask him for help. For a time, the world's finest chase Luthor throughout Gotham, realizing that the villain is using the Penguin's operations for malicious purposes. Then, Luthor suddenly disappears back to Metropolis and Batman decides to go with Superman and help take Luthor down. This leaves Robin and the Teen Titans in charge of Gotham. The Titan members are having personal problems though. Not everyone has time to come to Gotham. Starfire has problems with her alien family, and Robin, trying to make amends with Dana, has the foolish idea to make her a member of the Titans, which goes about as well as you'd expect. In the end, the team dissolves and Robin and Starfire break up. But then, they learn that Luthor has somehow set a trap for the entire Justice League. This gets the Titans to unite once more and together they free the Justice League. Robin does not lead them though, he gives that position over to Cyborg. After all the experiences of the last years, Dick, at the beginning of Season 5 decides to stop being Batman's sidekick and plans to move to Metropolis to go to college. At first everything goes well, the Titans are fine under Cyborg's leadership, and Batman finds a new sidekick in Barbara Gordon, who becomes Batgirl. Together they fight the newest villain in Gotham, Man-Bat. Dick, believing not to need his secret again, finally tells Dana that he used to be Robin. But unfortunately, Dana doesn't take this well. She runs off, and when she meets a mysterious dark agent calling himself the Talon, she betrays Dick and tells his secret. Robin had just taken up the mantle once more to help Batgirl after Batman had been injured in a fight with Man-Bat, when he is suddenly arrested for being a vigilante. We learn that the Court of Owls is behind all of this. They wanted to get rid of Batman and had created Man-Bat for that purpose. And now Dana had sold Robin out to them. But before any member of the court can get to Dick, he escapes from prison, leaving only the Robin suit behind. He is then absent from at least one whole episode, during which Batman starts noticing gadgets disappearing from the Batcave. Doing some investigation, Batman discovers that it is Dick's old high school friend, who had always supported Dick in the last years, who is stealing the Bat gadgets. Naturally, Batman understands whom the gadgets are for and does not confront the thief. Indeed, Dick Grayson is acting in the shadows, slowly infiltrating the Court of Owls through manipulating Dana. When he finally gets in, Dick figures out who the members of the court are and escapes with that information. He heads right to the Titans, and then, they inform the grown-up heroes. As they all prepare to take down the Court of Owls, Batman reveals that he has created a new suit for Dick, based on the things he had stolen for his secret mission. Thus, Dick officially becomes Nightwing. Batman, Batgirl, Cyborg, the Teen Titans and Nightwing then all work together to root out the Court of Owls, bring them to the court and capture Man-Bat as well. During the battle, Cyborg reveals that he is to become a full member of the Justice League and thus hands the lead of the Titans back to Dick. The series ends with Nightwing managing to reform Dana Duella Dent once more and then suddenly deciding to leave Gotham after all to go study in Metropolis. Everyone is sad to see him go, but Batman and Alfred are not surprised to learn that Dick never arrived in Metropolis, and when rumors about a new hero in Blundhaven called Nightwing start to circle, everyone knows that they haven't seen the last of Dick Grayson. And that is the whole series. Did you like it? As others before us, we have tried to follow the ideas of the comics while coming up with our own story. Let's quickly summarize. Season 1, Robin goes to high school while fighting crime, learning to live this new double life. Season 2, Batman and Robin have to fight the Joker and Harvey Dent becomes mad. Robin is developing a relationship with his crush Dana. Season 3, Two-Face is causing havoc. Dana turns out to be Two-Face's daughter. Robin gets in trouble when other love interests, particularly Starfire. By the end of the season, he and Cyborg assemble the Teen Titans. Season 4, Lex Luthor tries to take over the world. Batman goes with Superman to stop him. Robin and the Titans have to defend the city. The team nearly breaks apart but pulls itself back together to free the Justice League. Season 5, Dick Grayson gives up hero life, but Dana betrays his secret to the Court of Owls. Dick takes up a new hero identity and together with his friends takes down the Court of Owls. Please remember that everything presented here is simply the results of an experiment. No part of this presentation is intended as a correction of an existing story or claims to be the real story. The selection or omission of any parts of the source material is not to be understood as commentary, positive or negative, on the original productions. These are simply thoughts and experiments based on existing material, and none of it could be created without the work of all those involved in creating the original works. As with any scientific result, you may utilize any of the story ideas that resulted from these experiments for your own experiments or production, while citing this experiment as its source. It is now closing time for our lab. The experimenters will go on a bit of a hiatus now. But don't worry, new experiments are being conducted already. Goodbye until next time.